Step through the arch, and the house seems to breathe slower. A Spanish colonial courtyard home has a way of making time feel softer, as if the sun has been resting on its white stucco walls for generations. You feel it first in the textures, the warmth of terracotta tile beneath your feet, the quiet strength of carved wooden doors, the shadow of an arched entry falling across a clay walkway. Nothing feels rushed here. The beauty comes from balance, rustic charm, old-world detail, and a courtyard that becomes the emotional center of the home. Even a simple patio can feel more grounded when it borrows from this language of plaster, wood, iron, tile, and light. You are not just decorating a space, you are shaping a place that feels lived in before it is even finished. That is the magic of Spanish colonial design. It gives your home presence without making it feel stiff, elegant without losing warmth, and traditional without feeling frozen in the past.
Before we delve into our exploration, allow us to extend a warm welcome back to Amica Studio. For those joining us for the first time, we invite you to subscribe for more captivating insights into home and interior design inspiration.
The Spanish colonial courtyard home that gives every home timeless character. Ahead, you will move through 7 design ideas that bring this timeless style into clearer focus. You will see how an arched courtyard entry can make a home feel more graceful from the very first glance, and how white stucco walls paired with a red tile roof can create instant curb appeal. We will look at fountain patios, Hacienda courtyard gardens, wrought iron lighting, rustic Spanish interiors, tiled kitchen details, and cozy rooms that open beautifully toward the garden. You will also discover how modern Spanish colonial touches can feel clean and current while still honoring heritage design. Think warm neutral tones, Saltillo tile, handmade ceramic accents, carved wood furniture, arched windows, outdoor dining corners, Mediterranean landscaping, and soft lantern glow at dusk. Each idea is meant to feel practical, visual, and easy to imagine in your own space. Whether your home is large, modest, new, or ready for a gentle makeover, these details can help it feel more rooted, romantic, and personal. One. An arched courtyard entry that makes the home feel instantly welcoming. Spanish Colonial Courtyard home entry with carved wood doors. The entry is where the feeling begins, and in a Spanish Colonial Courtyard home, the arched doorway often carries the whole first impression. A rounded arch softens the face of the house, giving the exterior a graceful rhythm that straight lines alone cannot create. When that arch frames a carved wooden door, the space starts to feel warm, crafted, and deeply intentional. Dark walnut tones, antique brass handles, and wrought iron door grills add weight and character without making the entrance feel heavy. You can imagine the door slightly recessed into creamy plaster walls, with a clay tile threshold catching the afternoon sun. A pair of ceramic planters on either side can make the entry feel balanced, while trailing greenery softens the strong architectural form. Even if your courtyard is small, this kind of arched entry creates a sense of arrival. It tells guests they are stepping into a home with history, warmth, and a quiet kind of beauty. Old-world curb appeal with stucco, lanterns, and iron details. To build stronger old-world curb appeal, think of the entry as a layered scene rather than a single doorway. White stucco walls give the architecture its calm foundation, while black iron lanterns bring contrast and evening glow. A clay walkway or terracotta pavers can lead the eye toward the door, making the approach feel slower and more meaningful. If the space allows, an arched garden gate adds another beautiful moment before the main entrance, especially when paired with climbing vines or a low courtyard wall. Wall sconces, rustic address numbers, handmade tile accents, and a small wood bench can make the entry feel complete without overfilling it. The most successful Spanish-style entryways feel collected, not decorated all at once. Every detail should look as though it belongs to the home story: the lantern that glows at sunset, the ironwork that casts delicate shadows, the wooden door that feels touched by years of use. That is how your front courtyard becomes more than curb appeal, it becomes a welcome. Two. A Hacienda courtyard garden built around shade, texture, and still water. Fountain patio ideas with terracotta tile and Mediterranean landscaping. A courtyard fountain gives the home a center of calm, especially when it sits among terracotta floor tile, clay pots, and soft garden planting. The sound of water changes the mood immediately. It cools the space emotionally, even before you notice the stone basin, patterned tile, or sunlit ripples across the wall. In a hacienda-style courtyard, the fountain does not have to be large to feel meaningful. A small wall fountain, a round stone bowl, or a tiled basin can create the same sense of peace if it is placed where you naturally pause. Surround it with olive trees in weathered planters, lavender near the path, or potted citrus for freshness and structure. The palette should feel sun-warmed and grounded: aged ivory, clay red, dusty green, and soft stone gray. Together, these elements create a courtyard garden that feels calm, intimate, and quietly memorable. Courtyard garden design with clay pots, lavender, and outdoor seating. The best courtyard gardens are not only beautiful to look at, they invite you to sit down and stay. A simple outdoor dining table, a pair of woven chairs, or a built-in bench beneath an arch can turn the garden into a daily living space. Clay pots bring sculptural warmth, especially when grouped in different heights near stucco walls or along a tiled path. Lavender, rosemary, olive branches, and climbing bougainvillea can add fragrance, movement, and color without overwhelming the architecture. If your courtyard is narrow, keep the center open and let plants gather along the edges. If it is wider, create small zones, one for dining, one for conversation, one quiet corner near the fountain. The charm of this style comes from ease, not perfection. Slightly aged stone, uneven handmade tile, rustic pottery, and weathered wood all help the space feel soulful. You want the courtyard to feel as if mornings, meals, and quiet evenings naturally belong there. Three. White stucco walls and red tile roofs that give the exterior lasting character. Spanish Colonial exterior with warm plaster and clay roof tile. Few combinations feel as recognizable as white stucco walls under a red tile roof. The contrast is simple, but it carries enormous visual warmth. Creamy plaster reflects light softly, while clay roof tiles add shadow, depth, and a sun-baked richness that makes the home feel established. This is where Spanish Colonial exterior design becomes powerful. It does not need excessive ornament to feel complete. A beautiful roofline, arched windows, dark wood trim, and a few iron accents can create a timeless home facade with quiet confidence. The stucco should feel warm rather than stark, leaning toward ivory, cream, or soft sand. When paired with deep wood doors and terracotta walkways, the exterior gains a natural sense of harmony. You can update the look with cleaner lines or simpler landscaping, but the heart of the style remains the same: plaster, clay, wood, iron, and sunlight working together. Timeless home facade with arched windows and rustic outdoor lighting. Arched windows bring softness to the exterior and help connect the home visually to the courtyard. They echo the rounded entry, the covered loggia, and the rhythm of traditional Spanish architecture. When these windows open toward a garden or patio, they create that beloved indoor-outdoor flow that makes the home feel alive throughout the day. Rustic outdoor lighting adds another layer, especially in the evening when wrought iron lanterns begin to glow against stucco walls. A warm exterior sconce near the garage, a pendant under the porch, or lanterns lining a covered walkway can make the whole facade feel more intimate. For added character, consider clay pavers, a low garden wall, or handmade tile around steps and risers. The goal is not to make the outside feel overly polished. It should feel elegant, yes, but also relaxed and welcoming. The more naturally the materials age, the more beautiful the exterior becomes. Four. Spanish Revival courtyard details with tile, ironwork, and vintage garden charm. Tiled fountain walls and patterned courtyard flooring. Spanish Revival design often shines through decorative tile, especially when it appears around fountains, stair risers, benches, or courtyard floors. Pattern tile brings artistry into the architecture, adding color and movement without needing much else. Cobalt blue, warm yellow, muted green, and terracotta can all work beautifully against white plaster, as long as the palette feels connected to the rest of the home. A tiled fountain wall can become a striking focal point, while Saltillo tile underfoot gives the courtyard that warm, handmade quality people instantly associate with old-world homes. If you prefer a quieter look, use pattern tile in smaller areas, a border around a fountain, a single tiled niche, or a band of detail near the entry. This keeps the space elegant while still giving it personality. The charm lies in restraint. A few unforgettable tile moments often feel more refined than covering every surface. Wrought iron accents for courtyard glow and vintage garden depth. Wrought iron gives Spanish-style spaces their graphic strength. It outlines the softness of plaster, balances the warmth of wood, and adds beautiful shadow play as the sun moves across the courtyard. You might use it in balcony railings, garden gates, wall lanterns, window grills, or an iron bench tucked into a quiet corner. Black iron works especially well because it creates crisp contrast against warm stucco and terracotta tile. At night, iron lanterns bring a moody courtyard glow that feels romantic without being overly dramatic. Pair them with ceramic pots, aged stone, and carved wood furniture for a vintage garden feeling that still feels usable every day. If your space is small, choose fewer but stronger iron pieces. A single arched iron gate or one beautiful lantern can carry the look more gracefully than many scattered accents. Iron should feel like punctuation, confident, elegant, and placed exactly where the eye needs it. Five. Courtyard-facing living rooms that feel cozy, elegant, and connected to nature. Spanish Colonial Courtyard home living room with wood beams and arched windows. A living room that opens toward the courtyard has a special kind of calm. The garden becomes part of the room, and the room becomes part of the garden. Arched windows or French doors can frame the outdoor view like a painting, especially when light moves across plaster walls and warm wood floors. Exposed ceiling beams add rustic depth, giving the space a grounded, handcrafted feeling. A linen sofa, a carved coffee table, a vintage rug, and a ceramic lamp can make the room feel layered without becoming too formal. The color palette should stay warm and gentle: ivory, oat, walnut, clay, and muted earth tones. This kind of Spanish colonial living room is not trying to impress with clutter or shine. It draws you in with texture, proportion, and atmosphere. You feel invited to sit, breathe, and enjoy the quiet connection between indoors and outdoors. Rustic Spanish interiors with plaster arches, antique wood, and soft neutrals. Inside the home, rustic Spanish interiors feel best when they are built from honest materials. Plaster arches create architectural softness, antique wood adds age and depth, and handmade tile brings quiet artistry into everyday spaces. A room does not need to be filled with antiques to feel old world. One carved console table, one iron chandelier, or one weathered cabinet can create a sense of heritage when paired with warm neutral walls and simple textiles. Layering matters here. Linen curtains can soften arched windows, ceramic vases can bring handmade character to shelves, and a woven rug can warm the tile floor. Keep the room open enough for light to move through it. Spanish colonial interiors often feel most beautiful when they leave space for shadow, air, and silence. Instead of chasing a perfectly staged look, aim for a room that feels collected over time, with every piece adding comfort, memory, or material richness. Six. Spanish kitchen and dining spaces with handmade tile and gathered warmth. Courtyard kitchen design with tile backsplash and rustic cabinets. A Spanish-inspired kitchen feels deeply connected to craft. Handmade tile backsplashes, rustic cabinets, brass lighting, and ceramic jars can turn a practical room into one of the most charming spaces in the home. If the kitchen faces the courtyard, the connection becomes even stronger. Morning light can bounce from the plaster walls outside into the tile, making the whole room feel warm before anything is switched on. Zellage tile, patterned ceramic tile, or a simple terracotta floor can all support the look, depending on how colorful or restrained you want the space to feel. Wood cabinets look especially beautiful when they have visible grain, soft curves, or traditional hardware. Brass pendants and iron details bring warmth and contrast, while open shelves can hold pottery, glass, and everyday pieces that feel useful and beautiful at once. The kitchen should feel like a place where meals, stories, and quiet routines naturally gather. Rustic Spanish dining room with wood table, tile floor, and lantern light. The dining area is where Spanish colonial warmth can become truly emotional. A long wood table, terracotta tile floor, iron chandelier, and linen curtains can make even a simple meal feel memorable. If the dining room opens to a courtyard patio, you gain that beautiful sense of expansion. Doors open, lanterns glow outside, and the garden becomes part of the table. A rustic dining room does not need too many decorative layers. Let the materials carry the mood. A carved wood table, ceramic serving bowls, woven seat cushions, and a few candle holders can be enough. Tile underfoot gives the room durability and character, especially when softened with a vintage rug or warm lighting. For a more refined look, choose chairs with simple silhouettes and allow one dramatic element, like an iron chandelier or arched built-in cabinet, to stand out. The feeling should be welcoming, not staged, elegant, but ready for real life. Seven. Modern Spanish colonial touches that keep the home fresh without losing soul. Modern Spanish colonial courtyard home with clean stucco and black accents. A modern Spanish colonial courtyard home can feel fresh without giving up the emotional depth of the original style. The key is to simplify the lines while keeping the materials warm. Clean stucco walls, black-framed doors, pale stone pavers, and minimalist planters can create a more current look while still honoring the courtyard tradition. Arches may become cleaner, ironwork may become more restrained, and the palette may shift toward cream, charcoal, soft clay, and natural wood. This approach works beautifully for homeowners who love old-world charm but prefer a less ornate space. A courtyard with one sculptural olive tree, smooth plaster walls, a stone fountain, and black lanterns can feel both classic and contemporary. The result is not cold or overly minimal. It is calm, edited, and deeply atmospheric, with enough texture to keep the home feeling human. Minimalist courtyard styling with natural materials and heritage design. To keep a simplified courtyard from feeling empty, rely on natural materials with depth. Travertine pavers, terracotta planters, wood benches, ceramic vessels, and warm plaster all create quiet richness. Instead of many decorative pieces, choose a few that have shape, weight, and purpose. A low stone fountain can anchor the space. A built-in bench can make one wall useful. A pair of lanterns can bring evening warmth without visual clutter. This is where heritage design becomes flexible. You can respect Spanish colonial architecture while shaping it for modern living, whether that means cleaner outdoor seating, a softer garden palette, or a more open indoor-outdoor layout. The courtyard still needs emotion. It still needs shadow, texture, water, and warmth. But it can speak in a quieter voice. When done well, the space feels timeless rather than trendy, refined rather than bare, and peaceful without losing character. Conclusion. A Spanish colonial courtyard home reminds you that beauty does not have to shout to be memorable. Its power comes from the way simple materials work together: stucco warmed by sunlight, terracotta softened by age, iron shaped into shadow, water moving quietly in the center of the garden, and wood carrying the comfort of touch. each idea we explored, the arched entry, the fountain patio, the clay roof, the tiled courtyard, the cozy living room, the handmade kitchen, and the modern courtyard update, can help your own space feel more graceful and grounded. You do not need to copy every detail. Even one thoughtful change, like adding a wrought iron lantern, a carved wood door, a clay planter, or a small courtyard fountain, can shift the mood of your home toward something warmer and more enduring. Let your space become a place that welcomes slow mornings, glowing evenings, and everyday moments that feel a little more beautiful. Imagine where an arch could soften a wall, where a planter could bring life to a corner, where handmade tile could add color, or where a simple bench could invite conversation. The most meaningful homes are not built from perfect formulas, they are shaped by feeling, memory, and materials that grow richer with time. So take the ideas that speak to you, adapt them with care, and let your courtyard become the quiet heart of your home.